This project is sponsored by PCBWay. From concept to production, PCBWay provide cutting-edge electronic design solutions for global innovators including hardware design, software development, mechanical design, product testing, and certification. PCBWay engineering team consists of experienced engineers in electronics, embedded systems, and product development. They successfully delivered hundreds of projects across industries such as medical devices, industrial automation, consumer electronics, smart home, and IoT. Hello, an X-ray machine or radiograph is a quick, painless medical test that produces images of the structures inside your body, particularly your bones. It is one of the oldest and most frequently used forms of medical imaging. The process is based on a specific type of high-energy electromagnetic radiation. An X-ray machine produced a concentrated beam of X-ray photons. This beam is aimed at the specific part of the body being examined. As the rays pass through your body, different tissues absorb them at different rates depending on their density. On the other side of your body, there is a specialized film or a digital sensor. This detector captures the rays that manage to pass through you. Security X-ray systems at border crossing and airports work on the same basic principle as medical X-rays, but they are tuned specifically to identify materials rather than anatomy. In this project, I will show you how I made a miniature X-ray machine with the standard components that can be easily purchased on the market, and at the same time their manufacturing cost is very low. Even the manufacturing method is relatively simple, but for safety reasons I do not recommend trying to recreate it. X-rays are extremely dangerous to human health, and if appropriate protective measures are not used, serious consequences can occur. Keep in mind that the X-ray radiation that we receive in our body remains forever and increases cumulatively with each new dose. Generally, the X-ray machine consists of several components. First, a source of low DC voltage, in my case a laboratory power supply, and battery can also be used. Then a high AC voltage generator, preferably with the ability to continuously regulate the voltage and current. Specifically, I use this device from a previous project of mine, which is ideally suited for this purpose. Next is a Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier, which rectifies and increases the input AC voltage from the line transformer. By the way, this multiplier is also from a previous project of mine. The source of its X radiation, which in this case is a cheap DY86 rectifier vacuum tube from an old black and white TV. In fact, this is the biggest advantage of this concept, since even the smallest dental X-ray tube costs several $100s. The only downside is that the exposure has to last much longer due to the low radiation level, but in fact this is desirable in such dangerous do-it-yourself experiments. The DY86 tube is connected inversely, i.e. the cathode to plus and the anode to minus, which significantly increases its lifespan. Even when exposed less than 1 hour, the tube temperature does not exceed 30 degrees. That's why this is called a cold emission. And finally, the medium on which the image is formed. Specifically for that purpose, I use dental film and appropriate chemicals to developing and fixing the image. For this project, it is necessary to achieve controlled radiation intensity in order to obtain a clear image after only a few tests. I managed to produce X-rays with a tolerance of plus minus few microsieverts, which is incredibly precise control. My first goal was to make the DY86 tube start emitting X-rays. As a high voltage source, I used this variable high voltage power supply with the ability to continuously change the output voltage and but also the current by changing the duty cycle. I also had several flyback trafos from all CRT monitors at my disposal, which generate DC high voltage at the output. Also, I purchased 7 DY86 tube, 3 of which had lost their vacuum from standing for a long time. There is an old trick to test the vacuum in tubes. With a plastic stick, we hit the glasses of the tube, and if the sound is ringing, the tube has good vacuum, and if the sound is dull and muffled, there is a sure sign that the tube is unusable. This tube have good vacuum, and this tube is without vacuum. Unfortunately, during the experiment, I managed to destroy 3 tubes, and only with the last one I did reach the desired result. Namely, directly with a flyback trafo, it is very difficult to make the tube emit X-rays. In fact, at a certain point, it may start emitting, but soon after, due to the fact that the voltage in these transformers is too low and the current is too high, the anode quickly overheats and the lamp is then destroyed. The solution is a line type high voltage transformer without a cascade that outputs AC voltage to which a so-called Cockcroft-Walton multiplier is connected. In this way, very high voltages are obtained with very low currents. Through experimentation, I found the sweet spot so that the highest radiation is obtained with relatively low consumption. This is very important considering that when forming X-ray image, we have to expose the film for a very long time to these relatively weak X-rays. And let me immediately mention that all protective measures should be taken because this is very dangerous invisible radiation that has very harmful consequences for human health. The tube should be surrounded by a layered plate with thickness of 1 mm or more, with an opening on the side where the film will be located. We are also not allowed to stay in the room where the experiment is being performed. It is very preferable to turn the X-ray machine on and off remotely. Below we can see a short clip of the moment when X-rays begin to be emitted. The tube is connected in reverse polarity without heating. This significantly extends its life. I will perform radiation measurement with a FNI RSI GC01 dosimeter and Master 1 Russian dosimeter. We have now 10 microsieverts per hour with only 5.6 watt power. Here is what the final version of the container that houses the X-ray generator, i.e. the DY86 tube, looks like. On three sides there is a protective flared plate, and in front there is an opening of which object that we are recording is placed. Since we are working with extremely high voltages, especially insulated wires are used, which also need to be spaced apart from each other as well from the shield. We place the object at distance of 10 to 15 centimeters from the source and start the irradiation. The exposure time depends on the intensity of the X-rays and the distance from the source. Specifically, I get the best results with the following parameters: distance from the source about 10 to 15 centimeters. At that point, the radiation has an intensity of about 200 microsieverts and exposure time from 30 to 60 minutes depending on the object we are imaging. For objects with thicker and more impermeable material, the exposure is longer. When the exposure is over, we move to film processing. This is done in a completely dark room, possibly slightly illuminated with a discrete red light source. For this purpose, I use 5mm red LEDs. We carefully open the film, of course in the totally dark, immerse it in the developing solution for about 30 to 40 seconds, then we wash it in water, then put it in a fixing solution for 2 to 3 minutes. After this, the film is no longer sensitive to white light and we can wash it well under a strong stream of water and let it dry. The processed films are best viewed when placed under intense white diffuse light. For this purpose, I have made this small screen. Now you will see what some of the objects processed with this X-ray machine look like. And finally, a short conclusion, this project successfully demonstrates how I built a low-cost miniature do-it-yourself X-ray machine using a DY86 vacuum tube and a Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier. By achieving precise control over high voltage levels and radiation intensity, I can produce high-quality radiographs of electronic components using dental film. Safety notes: due to the extreme health risk involved, this video is for educational and documentary purposes only. X-rays are very dangerous ionizing radiation. They are invisible and pass through human body, and they can cause fatal diseases. Do not attempt to recreate this experiment at home. If you decide to carry it out despite the warning, I take no responsibility for your injuries. You do everything at your own risk.